Hello, I'm Andrew Smith from the Open University Cisco Academy, and I'm going to look at InterVLAN routing or router on a stick, but I'm going to look at some different scenarios here. I'm going to do this video in three parts. Part one is I'm going to set up the left hand on a stick, then part two, the multi-layer switch, and then part three, I'm going to bring it all together and get them all to talk to each other. I have already pre-configured the PCs. So if I just move my mouse over, you can see 10.0.0.10, but I have set up a default gateway that isn't there yet. Here, obviously 172.16.0.10 with a default gateway, and you'll see it's the same with the other devices, which we're not looking at the moment. So I'm just going to go on to the switch. I'm actually not going to do a great deal with the switch. I'm not going to be so clever as before, and I'm not going to name the VLANs either. I'm just going to go for speed here, and I'm just going to look at my ports because I can tell, I already know that FA01 is going to be VLAN 10. So interface FA0/1 switch port mode access switch port access VLAN 10. So I always think the mode in my head. So switch port access VLAN 10, and then I'm going to go to port 24, and I'm going to make that access VLAN 20. So I'm not doing anything that is rocket science here. So I've just made them, and I've set them up, and I've set up the VLAN access as well. Then I'm going to go for interface GI0/1 switch port mode trunk, and then switch port trunk access. So it should now allowed VLAN 1020. Okay, so now if I do WR and then do shut run, I should have this all set up, so I can see that's accessing 10, that one's accessing 20, and I've allowed these, and it's trunking. Okay, so far so good, but obviously nothing's going to happen because I need to set up my router. So initial config, enable conft, and then terminal, and then I'm going to do interface GI000, GI0/0, no shut. Okay, so I've brought the interface up because there's something talking at the other end, but you notice it's got no IP address at the moment, and I'm going to go back and do .10. Okay, so I've now brought up this new interface, and then I'm going to do encapsulation .1q, and then say tagged as 10. Okay, so I've now brought up the interface, I've tagged it, then I can give it an IP address of 10.0.0.1, the default gateway, and that is up as well. So I'm just going to do right for common sense. And then I'm just going to go back to the interface and do a .20. Remember the common sense rules. Yeah, it could be anything, but I would do something that is meaningful. So .20, so I've tagged that. Then I'm going to put an IP address, but this time it's 172.16.0.1, and then it's going to have a slightly different subnet mask. And remember, it routes connected. So if I just do a show IP int brief, you can see my sub interfaces are now up and up. I mean, it's just a little bit untidy here. Let's do a bit tidier. It's not quite doing it as tidily as I like here, but you can see it's all up and running, and it's happily trunking. So now, if I go into the PC, I should be able to ping and see the default gateway replies. Then I should be able to ping 172.16.0.1, which is the rooted default gateway of the other sub interface, which means that even though we're now in separate VLANs, and it is going to do an ARP, and please do an ARP. There you go. It's found its way, and we're able to route between devices. And if I actually go to here and just do ARP -A, it's given me the MAC address of the default gateways, basic routing, introduction to networks. So here, if I just go to the router on a stick and hit enter a couple of times and just do a show run, you can see that the configuration is GI00 is up, but it's unconfigured. Okay, and then I've created these two sub interfaces that are configured, and that .10 is optional. I could have done .123. It's silly, but then I've got the .1Q tag here, which must be the same as the VLAN on the switch for the interface that the PC is in. And now I'm actually routing between the two of them, and quite successfully as well. Not that difficult, but you have to be aware it's not an interface, it's a sub-interface, so you can have multiple IP addresses. And as Cisco Guidance says, don't do more than 50. Performance, no more, it's just performance. And if you're doing anywhere close to half of that, I'll be asking, why aren't you doing multi-layer switching properly? So this is part one, and obviously there is 2 more videos after this. I am now going to save, because that's important, and say thank you. I've been Andrew Smith from the Open University Cisco Academy.